diasporas. This is Bachubaz Online TV. My name is Stan Volmali, and today we have a guest here. She will introduce herself. Welcome.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dr. Kayombo. I'm here with you today sharing some few knowledge about how to make Africa, how to develop Africa. Thank you.
Yeah, today we are going to see about the Africa education. We are going to check it out, how it works. Is it going perpendicular with the current technology or what? So with Madam here today, we are going to discuss about it. Welcome, Madam, to see how you see education of Africa in the economic sector.
Thank you, but basically our education is still better, but not to that level. But we are doing great. Okay. Also, when we look at the economic, how economical our education benefits us.
Yes.
We look on how education, how our African education try to link and try to solve it with any economic level. For instance, we can see on how our technical education have been influenced or contributed to economic growth. For instance, we can see how education, basically on industrial sectors, have not that good enough, but somehow we try our level best.
Yes.
And looking at it, we saw that still we have a problem. Problem on what? Problem on our education. We see that most of what we are being taught in school are somehow quite different with what we have experienced in our life.
It means that education, which our syllabus that we use, is not perpendicular to the current technology or what?
No, I didn't say that it's quite different, but it's somehow related. When we say somehow related, in which ways? We see that mostly our curriculum and our topic does not be implemented in our society. We see that still we have an outdated technology.
Yes.
that has been used in those centuries. But how about these centuries? So in our education, we have to update our technological education.
Yes.
By looking on how other countries have been achieved to develop their education basically in industry. So we have to look at our updated technology, new one, and doing more innovation.
Yeah, I get you, Madam. You see that our education is still like that of century.
Yes.
Period before
independence, and they still have it.
So how it help us? How it help the society nowadays? Since we have seen that so many things have been changed now. We are in another developed technology. So how it works, and what is your advice to our leadership, African leadership, concerning this education?
Firstly, outdated technology won't help us in any way. So what I can advise that we have to change, we have to look at how we can use our education for our betterment. Because some schools and the university should look at other ways on how to update our technology. First of all, government also should support in sending those technicians doing more innovations and so on. Also, those private sectors, Africa's private sectors, should put much effort on how to develop our technology. I think that doing that investing on it and doing more will help us on reaching where we need to go. Yes.
We've seen the education provided abroad or in Western countries.
Yes.
Like USA there, Europe, and the other countries like that. It's basically in practical and not theoretical, much theoretical. But our education here in Africa, it's much based on theory. We are taught theoretically, but in the class we should do this and this, but not practically. How you see it?
It's bad because you cannot teach or taught a student how to make a portal theoretical without knowing how to make it practical.
Yes.
So teaching them theoretical is bad because we have to change it from theory to practical. Because when you tell a student to make a cup and then she or he made that cup, that is practical. That is how technology should work. So when you teach her that you do this and then left it, then the technology also goes. So better doing practical education, practical technology education will help us reaching somewhere.
So there is a need to change our
syllabus, curriculum, and so on. We have to change in terms of not only in technological but in other sectors. Because still we had that we can say that over-dependence education. Because still we use European education. Why can we create African education? We have to create our own education for our betterment in future. So practical is more approved.
Yeah, of course, Madam is right about this education. Since we have seen that there are so many engineers here in Africa, but we still give the contracts to Chinese people to construct our roads, our buildings. But we have so many engineers,
yes,
of course. But due to various problems, they failed to do so, to construct or to get those contracts, since the education provided to them is much in theory, not practical. So we advised our leadership to change the curriculums and the syllabus of education in Africa. It should be basically in practical. Also, it should be going with the current technology change.
Yes.
By doing it so, we will reach our goals in Africa. How you see our education in social, how it is helpful?
Social education is good, but not that much. But it's good, somehow good.
Yes.
Because also we see that also our norms, custom has also changed due to the education we had. So education also has a positive impact in our society. Though there are some negative impacts which are being seen and witnessed in our society.
Can you mention a few of these effects or negative impacts of education in Africa?
Basic socials. Maybe I can say that somehow it brainwash the African's mind.
How?
Before I know that before the coming of this, what we call education,
yes,
before African were just more socialized and doing more stuff together and so much thing. And the African were once, but after some those who receive that education tend to do some things. I can say that it creates a classes between peoples in the society, among those educated and those who are not educated. So much there to be preferred that we Africans,
yes,
we have to see ourselves as the ones, regardless our color, race, and so others. No matter what you much educated or not, but we have to use that education for our betterment.
Back in the days, we have seen that those who were during colonial periods, those who were at least educated, though in low level, they were used by the whites to betray their fellow Africans. What about now time, our education? Those who are educated, do they helpful to their community, or they still betray their fellow Africans, or they still conduct corruption, they still doing things which are against the society needs?
To make a correction, that not only those who are being educated in back days that have betrayed their fellow Africans, not, but we can look at example at Kwame Nkrumah, J.K. Nyelere's and the others. They bring positive changes on what they get through their education. They support the Africans through getting their nationalism. Also, when we talk about that time, there was a puppety leaders and a puppety, those who were educated, some of them were puppets due to the system of education which was there. So, but now they will say that we don't have those puppets for sure, but in the other way we can say that we had, because we see that through those educated persons, they try to get or to bring conflict between those who are not educated. For we can see that we can take example for those leaders, selfish leaders, African selfish leaders, some who tries to use their powers through that education to benefit themselves. That we can call that they were betraying their fellows. But not much. We have little leaders now. We can say that.
This thought of Madam here concerning this education social. But we have seen that most of educated people now time degree holders or PhD holders, once they came back into the society, they are not helpful at all. They back to the society, but still they take themselves like kings, since they can't do anything, they can't join the social activities with their fellow Africans, since they are educated. So is that what they are taught in their school, or what? Or what you can say on this?
What I can say on this, that maybe we can say basically it was on how the education form was made. Because many scholars nowadays are expecting much on those white collar jobs and not thinking of others' job. Many scholars are dreamed of becoming employed, not being employer. So that is a problem why they came in a society and they are not useful. So if the education will be changed and make the scholars and youth to be self-independent, to create that, to remind them that they had employment in their head, that will make them helpful to the society. When they finish the university colleges, they will come back on the society and bring positive changes using that education. Yes, I can say that education which was being proposed by J.K. Nyelere.
Yes.
That should be bring back to remind the youth that they are the source of employment and not waiting for employment. I can say that.
You see that our education in Africa is still changed day by day.
Yes.
Back in the day, there was subjects like agriculture, studies of kazi, but nowadays those subjects are deleted in the syllabus or in the curriculum, and still, since when they were there, people, due to their talent or hobby, so students used to decide. I'm going to study about agriculture. Since I like agriculture, I'm going to study about science or arts. But nowadays, we are all forced to study science, but it's still not helpful to us. And there's some subjects like agriculture is deleted. How you see it?
Okay, to make a correction that they don't delete those educations. Before we had science chemo, and now we have those, and those also before we had science chemo, but now we have Maarifa ya Jamii and the others. So also about looking at education, we can see that still we had those agricultural education. We can, for instance, you can see on SUA,
Yes.
yeah, that university basically was made for agriculture. But what we call that, what we do, the problem is that those students are not will being identified that where they go, where to start, where to lead. They just start accordingly to what they see and not what their mind want. So to change those things, it's the education ministry should also consider on what students want or learners want on education.
Do you think there is no a need for the Ministry of Education to create a way or to create some subject or to create a way that a student with a certain hobby should be based on what he likes more in order to create professional people on particular issue?
The Ministry of Education set free for all students. That's why we had those students who studied art, those who studied science.
What I'm asking here is what?
Yes.
We have said that this college for agriculture are in higher level, in university level.
Yeah.
But there are people who like to study agriculture, but they are in secondary level.
Yeah.
But they much know agriculture and not much know physics, chemistry, or what. They just history or what. They just wanted to study about agriculture. Once they fail to pass the secondary level to advanced level, how can they reach to SUA? How can they reach to university to study about agriculture? Since from secondary level they are still studying something which is not in their hobby.
Yes.
So how can they reach to the university? And why don't the Ministry of Education create a way or create a way that student can choose what he or she want and study what he or she want, not create a professional?
Okay, I get you. You just want to talk about how we can make those learners from the root.
Yeah,
from the root to the leaf.
Yeah.
How can we prepare an agriculturalist student from the root, from
how
the primary education?
Mechanics. How can we prepare a pilot? How can we prepare a doctor? Once one who wants to study about or who wants to study about a doctor is taught history, is taught geography, and not taught about biology, which is basically what he or she wants.
Okay, on that you just want. Or I can say that the Ministry of Education should look upon it, should look about what the learners need and want. If a student from the root, from the beginning, want to be a doctor, that dream should be, I can say that they should emphasize that dream from the root up to the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you for all who follow us and watch our videos. This is Bachubaz. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to comment. Also to share our videos so as our information to reach to so many Africans and make changes in Africa. Thank you for watching and welcome again.